There is so much coming at us, and what do? We are constantly busy. We keep responding to the next email, the next message. We try to stay on top, but in the end, what do we have to show for it? Nothing. If you're able to deliver some real outcome in those few hours, even if it's like 1 or 2 hours, my guess is that you will feel thrilled and your organization, your team, your company would be delighted. Many years ago, when I was on my first startup, I had just commenced my journey as an entrepreneur. And as you can imagine, in startup life, things are crazy. There is so much happening. You're trying to figure everything out. And in the middle of all that madness, one day, a friend of mine came to visit me. So he was on a short vacation or a break, and he met me, and then he said, "Can I help you with something?" And since I had so much to do, so I said, "Yeah, of course, there is this particular thing." I gave him some task and asked him, "Can you help me?" He said, "Yeah, sure. Let me just work on this." So after some chit chat, he left and he went back. And then I went back to my startup life, where I was busy answering emails, thinking of ideas, calling this person, talking to this guy. In the middle of that, I also got many questions for this person with regard to the work that I had given him. So I sent him an email, and I was thinking he would respond. And after 5-10 minutes, no response at all. I waited for some more time, no response. I sent one more email, no response to that. I was wondering, is he even serious? What happened? He seemed so enthusiastic. Then I just called him. Phone was switched off. And I was getting a little frustrated, he's not even accessible. And for next couple of hours, nothing was heard from him. I could not reach out. But anyway, I went back to my life and I was just busy doing stuff. After a few hours, post lunch at around 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I got an email from him. And in that email, he had a couple of attachments, and all the work that I had given him, he had finished everything meticulously. In the same time, in those couple of hours when he got this done, what was I doing? I was just as busy, but I had nothing to show for it. There was nothing I had really accomplished. I was just busy doing lots of stuff. Now, in those few hours when I was trying to reach out to my friend and he was not responsive, admittedly, I was a little unhappy. But in the end, I was truly delighted. But think about it. What if, just like me, my friend also had been answering all my emails? Maybe he took my calls and we spoke multiple times. We would exchange a lot of thoughts and ideas. But in the end, he would have gotten nothing done. So what was a better outcome? Yes, maybe I felt not so happy in the interim, but in the end, for me and for him, it was a much better outcome. Now, what we saw here is exactly what happens in our workplace for almost everyone. There is so much coming at us, and what do? We are constantly busy. We keep responding to the next email, the next message. We try to stay on top, and we hope that our responsiveness will please people. And for some time it does. But in the end, what do we have to show for it? Nothing. But think about it. What if somehow we managed to carve out maybe a couple of hours when we told our bosses, "Hey, I'm busy with this thing. Can I work on this thing and get this done?" Or find some mechanism to let people know that you are going to take some time out to really focus on some task that truly matters. And like my friend did in this example, if you're able to deliver some real outcome in those few hours, even if it's like 1 or 2 hours, my guess is that you will feel thrilled and your organization, your team, your company would be delighted. The choice quite often is between staying busy and pleasing people in the moment, or doing real focused work and delivering real delight, real success. The choice is not easy, but we have that choice, and that choice is yours to make.